being really sincere when I say this, but I think a lot of people have successfully figured out that it's much easier to like attack a person's character rather than like tackle the argument in and of itself. Also, apparently Asmongold agreed with me.
Yeah,
Let's take
I'm
a
going to
look.
be honest. I think he was right about pretty much everything.
I got to pee real quick.
I think this was good. This was really good. And I feel like also it's an example of like, if you build it, they will come. The reason why people have moved away from like progressive policies and the Democratic Party is they feel like the party's not made for them. Yeah, I'll link you all the video. Yeah, honestly, it made sense. Yeah, no, for sure. And I think that's really what happens more than anything. I just want to see them win. Now, if you build Blue Sky, well, I mean, there's some people that are at Blue Sky for sure. And does the right need a view? No, they don't. This is the thing, is that if you create something worth fighting for, you don't need to pay people to fight for it. They'll do it for free. That's the thing, is a lot of the people that were like, you know, for example, a lot of the people that were like going to like the Kamala rallies, they were getting paid like, you know, tens of millions of dollars, right? Or at least millions of dollars to do that. So it's really not a surprise that would happen. Both parties have changed so much in the last 5, 10, or 20 years. Yeah, sure. But the right has the view, and it's the view of driving people to the right. Yeah, exactly. And younger generations are brainwashed by social media. Well, older generations are brainwashed by mainstream media. Like, I don't really think that's a very, like, this isn't really much of a conversation, is it? But anyway, I think that the big problem is that young guys get demonized by the left, and they get demonized by the left for doing things that young guys like doing, like being abrasive, saying obnoxious things, being aggressive. And also, I think the main issue, I think, for a lot of guys, and I don't know about you guys, right? But it's like what I was saying before about the identity politics. The moment that I see advantages that are given to like women explicitly, I'm immediately never going to support that, because I'm not a woman and I don't want to see somebody be given advantages based off of their identity. Straight up, that simple. And so if there's a group of people that are doing that, I will always go against them. Why would I support somebody who's you know, actively trying to make things worse for me? It's so simple. It's diminishing to women too. Yeah, I think in a lot of cases it is. You keep saying he's right, but examples are stuff that he would not agree with. He's not completely on board with the anti-white stuff that you're talking about. Well, he might not agree with it.
Yeah, on principle, I think when people cry about white identitarian politics and say white people are under attack, I disagree with it. That doesn't mean that I don't want you, regardless of your background, regardless of your even political opinions, that to get educational attainment, upward social mobility, housing, healthcare. There is no world where I would ever fight against you getting those things. That's the whole point. That's what I believe. And I think a lot of people personally hear stuff, you know, clipped out of context or whatever and they make up their minds and they go, oh, this guy hates white people. It's like, no, dude, I don't. I'm white. Okay. I'm a white man. I still believe that, you know, conservatives, even Nazis deserve health care. The point is, I use that extreme example. The point is that a more just, empathetic, universal approach to politics is going to make it so that people are less angry. Okay? That's it. That's the point.
No. I think that he might not think that it's valid. I think that Hasan understands that what I'm saying is accurate. He just doesn't agree with the conclusion. That's two very different things. I think it's very easy to identify, yes, this is why people are mad, without going and saying that you agree with why they're mad. He doesn't understand, he doesn't agree. Yeah, exactly. It's simple. And so anyway, I think that's the main thing. And so the moment that, and I feel like, again, when you see people that are getting preferential treatment, or especially like on Twitch, this has happened a lot, where people have said negative things like, you know, calling people crackers, etc., and not getting in trouble for it.
I mean, I got banned for calling people crackers.
That is like, I don't want.
How can you talk about universal health care and like what the Democratic Party should do going forward and then go back to like talking about cracker. CNN, people aren't taking us seriously anymore. Let's get Hasan Piker on. Are you an anti-Semite? No. Okay, thanks for answering that. Don't worry, I won't push back with any evidence that you are. Hasan is a typical progressive hipster most dudes hate being around. It's so funny that a lot of guys in Asmongold's community have this attitude, but like, this is just not the reality in the real world. Like, I'm willing to bet that like, if you're some sweaty online guy, okay, you probably don't, I suspect, are probably not going to be able to hang out with the very same people that I can very easily hang out with. You know, a lot of even right-wing people, they ask him what his thoughts are about 9/11. These people have no friends. Source, I was one. Son of billionaire complains about how nobody listens to him. Son of billionaire. Dude, how the did these people arrive at these, like, oh God, I don't even want to get into it. How would Hasan know how to win back bros when the only audience he attracts is brain-dead 14-year-old Reddit users, as opposed to what? This guy being a 45-year-old Reddit loser? The whole intro of him being very bro-y is the most forced and telegraphed move ever. I think this is what I mean as far as like political polarization has caused people online to basically refuse to reckon with the truth that is in front of their eyes. If you look to someone like myself who works out every day, who participates in athletic competitions and shit like that, and is like, you know, a fairly bro-y dude, and you go, no, actually, he's not. He's weak because of his opinions, his politics. You've lost sight of like what is directly in front of you, and you're only, dude, I'm banning that one chat GPT bot that keeps asking the weirdest questions. Push by Twitch, push by CNN, push by DNC. What kind of privilege is this? Why would you go to Piker for advice on how to get men back when he's widely hated by men? I think that there is a real crisis of confidence among men. You know, that's true. There's a real crisis of confidence among men. More Azan glazing, part 1.
Hasan is literally single-handedly carrying the left-wing media base for men on the internet. Let's just face it, Trump fully sweeped young men this last election. There was no contest. Gen Z men went right-wing. I all know that a lot of Gen Z, a lot of young people just simply don't vote. But the ones who do are going out of their way to look for media that will inform their decisions. The problem with young men today is that the majority of the content that they are consuming is embedded with right-wing rhetoric. You want self-help, you got Andrew Tate. You want entertainment, you have Strawberry Park, you have Pop the Balloon, you have those little like sad boy men loneliness edits on TikTok. You want politics, you have the Whatever podcast. Literally all men have to turn to for entertainment is right-wing shit. And it's the shit that's like subliminally coded. Like it's the stuff that won't outwardly say Trump 2024. They will like push stereotypes and push rhetoric that almost subliminally say to you, vote Trump. What makes this problem?
And it's really funny because all the while, the very same people that are progressive are like trying to put a fine tooth comb on every little thing that I say to find disagreements, to find like marginal disagreements with me, when in fact, like, and to say that I'm a bad person, when in fact, like, right-wing media is so dominant and they do not give a single shred of a they do not care at all. Like it's pretty wild where like you have so many different people online on the supposedly like progressive side of things that are just like, you know, this Hasan guy, he sucks, he's a piece of shit. I don't like him because I misunderstood something that he said, or I saw a clip out of context. If you're relying on him, you're doomed. Destiny's smarter than him. Hasan only got to where he got because of money and looks. Bro said it's okay to say the N-word, but cool, debate him. Oh, that's amazing. It's so crazy how educated people fall for a lunatic like Hasan. As a right-winger, Destiny is miles ahead of him. Of course. Oh my God. That's so funny. That is, I mean, look, back in the day, these comments used to be a dime a dozen, right? It used to be very commonplace, but there was never this kind of like active pushback against it. So I'm glad that some of y'all are out there doing the Lord's work. Okay? Because Jesus Christ, dude, this dude basically got away with just like brigading every mention of me for so goddamn long. Anyway, they got email alerts for when Hasan gets mentioned. I don't know how they find it. I guess it's because they're hate watching here. So when I look at it, they just know where to swarm. It's in their best interest to not talk about you know who at the moment. Most validate ego. No, it's good. It's good to highlight content like this on the stream, especially in the beginning of the broadcast, because honestly, you guys might be like, oh, you're satiating your unquenchable thirst for love and admiration from people. But the reality is I'm happy to highlight and signal boost stuff like this. I'm happy to highlight and signal boost stuff like this and you know, urge people to do stuff like this more frequently. And it has nothing to do with necessarily with my ego. I mean, I'm sure it feels good, but I think overall, you know, there's a lot of negativity outside of this space in a lot of the you know, politically adjacent commentary spaces, like debate spaces, because they've been just like completely brigaded into oblivion. So I'm glad that there's like this kind of stuff out there as well. And it's important to give people the permission structure to, one, to be openly a fan and get other people on board and show others that it's like not weird or gross to be a fan of mine.
Problem even worse is that because of this right-wing content and this glorification of just toxic masculinity and just being a bad person, we will have like genuinely good shows that boys watch. The Boys, for example, is a very good political satire. Men will take that show and turn it into brain rot. Men will see Homelander and be like, I'm him, because of the toxic behaviors they're taught to glorify online. Hasan is probably like one of the only personalities I can think of that are actually left-wing and like genuine about it. Not like the Destiny Boy. We don't talk about him. I feel like it's just so easy to get information from Hasan because he puts it in a way that is so easy to consume. He throws jokes in there and he just explains his concepts to you in a way that sometimes can be condescending, but it's okay because that's bae. You can call him what you want. I honestly don't care. Call him a grifter. Call him like a rich fake communist. We need more of him. Like we need more left-wing men for other men to look up to because we know they don't like to listen to us or anyone who.
This person gets it. Like they get it. But yeah, I think what a lot of people have very successfully done. I'll be honest. I'm being really sincere when I say this, but I think a lot of people have successfully figured out that it's much easier to like attack a person and try to establish some semblance of like hypocrisy in their operations, because most people, you know, hypocrisy bait pretty hard and that's what people respond to. And it's much easier to just attack a person's character rather than like tackle the argument in and of itself. And a lot of people in this community don't understand it. A lot of people personally don't understand that in this community. They don't understand the importance of like propaganda and positive PR. And they just kind of cast it aside and they're like, whatever, who cares? And then they're shocked when there's so much hatred out there, even against them. You say, I really didn't like you. I'm a Brit and you pissed me off when you celebrated the Queen dying. I'm not even a royalist. It just rubbed me the wrong way, but getting past that was a really good decision, not gonna lie. I mean, yeah, I hope you understand why I'm gonna make fun of the Queen dying, right? Like that's a queen. Like that's a relic of the monarchy, right?